Great to see it back. You can see all of the... Oh no, incident there. One of the Van Amersfoorts is off, and that's... Drop back down the field. It's one of the tridents, isn't it?
It is one of the tridents.
And I think that's...
that start-finish line. And they're 3 wide then, down. There is the spin. And obviously unable to continue from Browning. And a further contact, even further back. Towards turn 8, is there going to be a bit of contact? No, they all making contact. The MP Motorsport car of Boyer, and that's where that little bit of front suspension damage, and that's clumsy from Boyer, it must be said.
A little bit over ambitious.
Yeah, oh, unfortunately. The apex of 9, and then lost the rear on the direction change. And that's the difficulty.
Approach now. So tricky. How does Marty manage it?
Oh,
he doesn't.
Well.
He gets the rear out and straight. Is he in the wall? He's in the wall. Marty into the gravel. And that is a big collision then for Pepe Marty. That turn 9 and 10 chicane catching him out.
First apex nicely. And then just on the change of direction, the rear just won't come with him. And then bang into the outside wall. Bizarre incident for me. I think he's just committed the car on the direction change and just doesn't have the... Wonder if he's trying to find a toe. Goes to pull out then.
He's already in the wall at this stage. If you look in the background on the right.
Well, I was shunted in the last corner because somebody...
Bortoletto finds a gap between the yellow flags, and that's a big hit for Bedrin on the exit of turn 14. Just loses the rear, gets high and wide. There it is, just that moment. Rear brakes 3, high and wide, and there's no recovery and no space, even if there...
It's going to be worse for Browning. Let's see what happens to Ido Cohen. Well before the corner.
Yeah, he ends up really wide. I expect what he's done is had some contact, and then the damaged car's basically normally flat out sweeper of turn 8. I suspect it's already damaged by the time it makes the wall, unfortunately. To turn 5 behind us, lose the rear and go straight into the outside Tech Pro, but he already had...
Now we're watching watch the orange car here. That's Mary Boyer with a big incident into the gravel, and I think he might roll over into the dust, and he just catches the car in front of him.
Yeah, it's just a squeeze. The car on the inside.
Frederick falls out the way. Let's see what happened. Oh, Frederick.
Just...
Hey, you broke way too hard now about me.
That was Zolov.
Turn 3, and then they're going to have a little scuffle on the apex, aren't they? Or through the exit, Ido Cohen. And who's the Van Amersfoort car?
It's Tommy Smith.
Yeah, Tommy Smith alongside him, I think, will take...
No, it's not. It's Rafael Villagomez.
Stroll, who no doubt were on the phone to the team, who in turn were on the phone to the driver to say...
Here we have Zolov fighting with one of the other PHM racing cars. That was going to happen in that final lap, and this was Nikita Bedrin. Unfortunately, in the Yenza, finding a bit too much curb and spinning out on the exit of turn 1. And how heavy is that hit?
Just praying for a few more degrees of steering lock. He might have held on to that one. That's when you need a clutch.
For Bortoletto, as we're going to see.
And in the wall, Ido Cohen. See what it's like for the last 12 minutes or so, and Yaney did hit the wall.
Replay.
Have to get a closer look at that, maybe a slight brush, and there it was Ollie Gerther who found... running around the outside, but look further back, can we see Johnny Edgar finding the wall? Yes, we can. Comes together with a trident, and then it'll...
To the wall, there, so nothing he could do about that. And then I think you'll see here, Hunter Yaney have...
Do we have here? Is there a little coming together? It's a trident and a back. Difficult to go 2 by 2, as they all seem to be doing further back as well. Oh. That was Ollie Gray in the wall in the road in Carlin. I didn't think that would end too well, and it didn't. Ollie Gray...
And it sees he runs down, leaves them...
Oh! But he can't do it. Collette holds on. Great defensive driving, but Montoya is the faster driver. It almost looks like Montoya's pushing him up the hill. In fact, he was. There's contact.
Gabriel Bortoletto, you can see Gabriel with the yellow rear wing. Oh no, we've got a car off. I think that's one of...
Entry of turn 9 here. The fast right-hander, which provided some challenges in qualifying, and I'm not sure if that's over the exit. He didn't go around the bollard critically, which was, we saw a penalty, and then there was contact that's obviously followed up.
I don't know where this one actually came from, to be fair. I think this was maybe in the battle. This, Billy.
Yeah, so Mansell with a DRS going around the outside of Gabriele Mini. Gabriele sent him spinning, so for me, that potentially the fault lays with Gabriele Mini on that one. You've got to leave.
British driver as they make their way now in towards turn number 4. Oh no, contact there. We've got the number 4 of turn number 4 we go. Oh, and there was the contact, and Browning's got suspension damage immediately into the.
You try to hang it around the outside and you don't bail out early enough in the corner. The move there kind of faded away from him, but he tried to hang on to it, and that's
the tyres very well. Others seem to be falling off the cliff. Oh no, that was contact there.
One driver, unfortunately, to blame, and that is the Rodin Carlin driver of Ollie Gray, and really unfortunate for Villago. He goes to go down the outside, thinks better of it, and he just down for that. As we can see, this is the Williams cars getting a bit too close for comfort there. Frederick's trying to pull across, and there we go. That's what happened to Mini.
I think we're just going to have a miscommunication between. Wow, Frederick's gone in incredibly deep there and been.
Cars, he's just been caught out completely by the slowing traffic ahead.
To the final corner, interested, yes, side by side with Browning. Oh, and it's just a big hip and shoulder, which died there and then. They're now recovering the car of Browning. I can see how it. This is the car 17 incident, and that's Johnny Edgar making the contact in the MP car. And that's Cal Colette round then, unfortunately, and has been in and out of the pits. Yeah, Cresswell. And here's the incident then for Farrier.
Tommy Smith.
The replay, here we go then, through the exit. Little bit, he kind of lost it. Oh, goodness me, it's a nasty angle as well for the Van Amersfoort car. But out on the outside curb, but he'd already got a decent amount of oversteer.
And here we can see him on screen.
So he gets wide. He's already got a little bit of water on the tyre then, and that water costs him through the mid-corner of 3, out on the Astro, and then, yeah, turn 6 and 7. But it looks like a couple of drivers off, and there it is then. Yeah. Big loopy spin at the rear of the field.
That was Roberto Farrier, I believe, who was tagged into a spin, and we can see him at the very top of picture. Whoa! Tommy Smith.
By side between Marty and Solov, and there's the Pepe Marty, tries to make the move and just loops it on the throttle. Oh no.
Fantastic.
On the exit does Barter, just a bit too much oversteer. There's the MP for Barter, which costs him down to the Kemmel Straight. And are we going to see the incident? Yes.
Yep, there we go. That's Villa Gomez on the inside, Montoya on the outside. It looked like they were 3 wide there, and one of the Carlin. Marty in the white Campos is going side by side with Gabriele Mini round the outside of P1. Surely not! And there's been contact. Pepe Marty tagged.
Fire the car back up, rejoined, and Eno Cohen. Oof. Wow. And he knows immediately that is not what moment. Trying to get the car fired up, and Cohen's already got damage there, and that is a nasty impact.
Couldn't believe what he'd done either. Straight into the path of Cohen.
Ganovic locking up down into the braking zone, and this is nose to tail contact. It is front wing to rear lefty, out of the race to all intents and purposes. But O'Sullivan will be the challenger into the final throws of this championship.
Well, Shin spun the car completely on his own, it appeared there.
Has he just caught the curb at the base of the hill? Just a nasty moment in the mid corner there. And try and see it again. Just that final chicane with
Hugh Barter.
Yeah, Hugh Barter for company. Barter trying to sweep in around the outside there, and Gray with nowhere to go on the brakes. I think when you do, he's got a little wide through the middle, tried to stay in the throttle through the exit because you lose so much time down towards turn 1, and there just plain wasn't enough road for him.
Well, that's the gravel there, of course, makes that corner so much more challenging now. In this session after his car went smoking up. Whoa! And a big collision there.
22, there he is. And he has to brake very hard.
Let's see. There is Gray going into the back of Cohen.
Brinkmanship. Wait.
That's Ollie Girth is off into the gravel. That's through the Lesmos, I think.
touch the grass. No, just plain loses the rear on the apex of the second. Lesmo
down towards Retafilo as they come down towards the first game. Paul Laron's off. Paul Laron is spinning and he's collected 2 cars. He's collected.
Realise it and then lock both fronts, commit to the grass, but of course there's no grip down there, and there's the damage to Edgar, which then caused the front lock up for Aaron down into. Yeah, he's got a left rear puncture, hasn't he? That's why it's locked up. So actually, he looks like he's got in. Was moving. That's why the car won't stop down into T1.
That looked like left rear tyre to right front tyre on Colette, which scored his tyre possibly as well.
Look at it. You can see it there on the high mode on the shot.
Yeah. There you see the number 1 car just to the left, bottom left of that rear wing.
Marty trying to limp the car around, and then eventually it's just plain not going to turn and going to fail and head off into the gravel at the Lesmos. He's tried to give him space.
And he moved across on me on the exit.
I think he just needed to get a little bit more out of he's got Saucy been flailing around. And
Caelan Frederick.
Yeah, has 3 into 1 doesn't go there, but I think Frederick could potentially Colapinto. Look for him right of screen, and he gets it's a big hip and shoulder out onto the gravel there, and
Saucy.
Yeah, down the inside. I think it was a little bit of a nudge between.
Getting one down the inside of Bortoletto, and Bortoletto being hustled wide, not once but twice here. Saucy now goes past him as well. Bortoletto's going to return the favour in towards Lesmo 2, and Saucy's off into the gravel.
Left rear puncture for Saucy, caused a right into the inside gravel. Again, misfortune. We've seen it throughout the year from Montoya. Has been a podium finisher.
Of Caio Collet, and he's through into second. Nicholas.
We're just on board with from Aaron. And he, there's that bit of contact. He decides to make it across the runoff area as well. And we'll be looking for the car, which rejoins on the left-hand side. 5-second time penalty's just been given out to Fornaroli for forcing a driver off track. And so he just gets hit from behind, and that will be Cohen then, presumably.
Here we might see where it happened then, Alex.
Yeah, so we're just having a look. Yeah, so Cohen's gone off behind. Cohen's gone off in a